Walking and instructing a horse in a language and way that it understands and comprehends is very important, especially in horse racing. Just like when driving a car, if it does not go right when it's meant to, or for that matter stop when you brake, the consequences can be disastrous.
A lot of groundwork goes into training horses to make them ready for race day and make them safe for the jockey to hold the reins and steer the horse. It's of utmost importance that the horse's mouth has been correctly trained and adapted to the bit so that the jockey can give instructions to the horse correctly.
Basically what your reins are there for is kind of like your steering wheel you have in a car. You know, control the horse's movements with it. Like you say, you know, you pull on the left rein for the horse to go left, pull on the right rein for the horse to go right. You know, let the reins loose, relax, the horse will just stop and walk, go forward. To stop him, you just ease him back a little bit in his mouth and he normally stops. A lot of times you can use him as well as if a horse sticks up, doesn't want to go anywhere, scared of something. You just got to turn him around and you just pull on the reins, play with the bridle, and he walks backwards, so basically he doesn't see much what's going on behind him, kind of thing. And then as you get closer, you turn him around and normally they'll just walk off again.
The reins are the leather straps that a jockey will use to control a horse.
Horses have very, very sensitive mouths, and at the start of their training a bit is put in and the horse is allowed to chew and make saliva on the bit and feel the bit. Gradually, as the stages go on and on and on, he learns to respond to the rider's seat, leg, hand, speed. Everything is all built into the final product.
The reins are used to move in the direction that the jockey wants a horse to go. Pulling to the left will make a horse go left, and pulling them to the right will make the horse go right. The reins are also used to make a horse stop or slow down, and to tell him when it's time to go. The reins are connected to the horse's mouth by a bit. A horse will generally run in the direction of where his head points, and jockeys achieve these changes by signaling the direction change through the reins to the bit which sits in a horse's mouth.
Sure, look, you get different types of bits. There's two that I really like, which is a normal snaffle and your ring bit, which is probably used the most in racing all over the world. And you just find it depends on what kind of a mouth the horse has. Horse always starts off when they first come in with a soft mouth. Over the years and months and whatever, they can develop quite a hard mouth from, obviously, it depends on who's riding them every day. You know, someone that's a little bit aggressive and a bit harsh can get them to develop a very strong mouth, which is, I find, not the ideal thing for racing. A hard mouth will be more difficult to kind of control or to get a horse to respond to what you want him to do. Especially, I would say, is when you're kind of galloping and you want him to come back to you and you want to actually stop him. And sometimes in a race also, you know, hard mouth is not good for a horse. Or a horse might have a problem on the one side of his mouth and run off the track and hang. Hang means horse is going to, you know, kind of, if you're going around left-hand bend, he's going to go to the outside.
On race day, sometimes horses hang out and jockeys have to use their whip and keep the horse straight. This could be due to a very stubborn horse's mouth or something wrong with the horse's leg and he's feeling to move away from it.
The ability of a well-trained mouth is critical in horse racing, since jockeys have to depend primarily on their hands rather than their legs to get a racehorse to obey them.
Dressage riders ride primarily from their seat, their leg, their heel and their hand, but for racehorses, jockeys do not use their legs, they use their hands only. So it's very important that trainers train the horse to be able to steer from the hand.
Safety in horse racing is of the utmost importance, and sometimes a jockey will need to use a whip to keep a horse on a straight course.